Shalom, this is the voice of Jacob. My name is Brother Gabar Ya Allah, and I just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Rakahak Wadash. And Lord willing, this will be edifying and thought-provoking through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Double honors to elders of GMS Great Millstone. May Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai be with you in the truth, in the spirit and truth. So it says how to make an electrolyte drink, and this is from Whatisthe666mark2 GMSTruth. Link will be in the description, of course. This is Elder Apostle Tahar's channel. Go over there and subscribe and watch if you haven't done so already. A good video how to make an electrolyte drink. So you shouldn't be drinking all these sports drinks that they have out here on the market, like sports drinks like Gatorade and Powerade and things of that nature. All these different energy drinks too, like Rockstar. You can make your own, and it's very simple, and that's how the Lord intended it to be. Gathering and using medicines that come out of the earth, it's very, very simple, and it's inexpensive too. Right? It's very inexpensive. It's just that this society tricks you into thinking that eating healthy is very, very expensive. That's not the case. Right, that is not the case. You just need a few ingredients, and that's it. And it takes you a long way. So yeah, it's a good video. Go watch it. Now, I just want to make this plain and simple and to the point. So I'm going to start off with Sirach chapter 38, verse 1. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him, for the uses which ye may have of him, for the Lord hath created him. For the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be an admiration. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. You see that? So yeah, man, you got to honor the physician that is led by the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, because the Lord set that physician up so the Lord's power can be shown, and so the Lord also can be glorified. That physician is going to bring healing through his spirit and his power, right? So yeah, man, you can't abhor the physician, and you can't abhor the herbs and medicines that come out of the earth, which the medicines are the herbs, and that brings forth healing, which that healing is a cure. Okay, and that's what the Lord is about. He's about curing you. He's not about masking and alleviating your symptoms. That's not what he's about. He's not about treatment or treating you. He's about curing you. The scripture says the Lord is a power of the living. He's not a power of the dead. And there are many examples in the scriptures where the Lord has prolonged the lives of certain individuals when their life shouldn't have been prolonged. But you have to understand that healing comes from the Lord. And it's not just about you taking the herbs. You really have to believe that the herbs will work through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Because the Lord heals you, not the herbs. Alright, and that's beautiful when going into verse 2 there. For of the Most High cometh healing. You see that? So yeah, the Lord hath created medicines. Verse 4 now. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Yeah, abhor means to abstain from them. A wise person, what is wisdom? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So if you fear Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, you wouldn't abhor natural medicine, which is herbs and things that come out of the earth, like the fruits, the vegetation, and things like that, right? You wouldn't abhor that. You see, this world, it teaches you to abhor natural pathic medicine. In fact, this world teaches you to rely on synthetic medicine, going into pharmaceuticals, right? Going into the pharmacy, which you shouldn't be using pharmaceutical drugs, and you shouldn't be going to these physicians of no value, these modern day doctors, man, because they don't have your best interest. They actually want you to die. The whole pharmaceutical industry is just a money racket machine, and they really like to kill people. All right, for lack of better words, man. I don't want to go too much into that because I think this video gets striked because of that. So I got to be careful how I say things. You know how YouTube is, medical misinformation. So I'm not going to go into specifics. You can research that yourselves. But let's go into the word pharmaceutical. Okay, pharmaceutical, pertaining to pharmacy or the art of preparing drugs. So the Lord didn't give us drugs, he gave us medicine. Drugs and medicine are two different things, okay? So it says, of drugs, from Greek, pharmakitos, from pharmakias, prepare of drugs, poisoner. Damn! So this is the root word, okay? The root. So it means prepare of drugs, a poisoner. God damn! So really, when you take prescription drugs, you're really taking poisons. Okay, you're taking poisons, and this shows you that these modern day doctors and physicians of no value are a bunch of witches and warlocks, man. That's all they are, because that's what witches do. Okay, the witches, the modern day witches are these damn scientists and doctors, and they're in the lab, which is that digital cauldron. You know, the laboratory, which that's where they have their cauldron, because that's what witches use. They use a cauldron, and then they prepare potions and stuff like that. And that's what they're doing, man. That's what witches do. That's what they do. They prepare poisons and potions. And that's witchcraft. So they're a bunch of witches and warlocks, man. Poisoner. God damn. That's serious, man. So yeah, you shouldn't be relying on a modern day physician. Let me get this. This is Job chapter 13 verse 3. I'm going to start here. Point we made in verse 4. Surely I would speak to the Almighty, and I desire to reason with the Most High. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. Yeah, physicians of no value. Okay. And that's what these doctors are, modern day doctors, physicians of no value. But then, you know, people will go to them and pay lots of money, and then they don't get any results. Right? You can't trust a doctor named Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz, the Wizard of Oz. Can't trust a guy named Dr. Oz. And he's a big-time doctor. He's a big-time mainstream doctor, man. That guy is a high-level warlock, man. Can't trust that guy, man. But hey, man, everybody wants to be on this show. He has a big following. But he's down with the pharmaceutical industry. That's why he has a platform, because he's pushing it. Right? So the real physicians are the ones that deal with natural medicine. So, yeah, man, just look out. Look out. Now, it says here, medicines out of the earth. And that's what the Lord gave us. He gave us medicines out of the earth. So you can see, man, what Elder Apostle Tahar is going into. You see lemon juice. You got the salt. You got the water. All of this stuff comes out of the earth. And like I said, it's very cheap to get these things. See, medicines are expensive. It's expensive, especially if you don't have coverage. So that costs a lot of money. Gotta refill your prescription. Who wants to go do all that, man? Give these devils your hard-earned money. Who wants to do that? So these things are inexpensive, man, and it's very easy. And you just have to take the time, and you have to research and just understand what your body needs, man. So you gotta take time for yourself, and you gotta take time definitely for your Yahweh Shemil Shai. And if you do that, the Lord is going to work with you. All right, so let's go to the point now. Medicines that come out of the earth. This is Genesis chapter 1, verse 29. And the Most High said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life. I have given every green herb for meat, and it was so. And the Most High saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good, which means it was perfect. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. All right, so the main point is, man, he gave you the herbs, right? And that came from the earth, right? And everybody takes it, even the beasts, the creeping things that move on this earth, the animals, they even go into the herbs. They eat the herbs. Even my cat eats herbs, man. I remember I had a cat. Well, he's dead now. He died this summer. Died of cancer, too. That was fucked up. He was bleeding and shit. And that's because he was old, too. I know when it was messed up. It was nasty, too. But anyways, he ended up dying. But I noticed, like, when he would go outside, he would eat the grass, which the grass is chlorophyll. And that purges his body. I was researching that. So even the animals, they rely on the herbs. So what more the man, the Israelite man, you got to rely on it. That's just, just there are some things that are universal. Everybody needs the herbs. But in this day and age, they'll tell you, nah, you don't need the herbs. You can rely on my potions. Just use my potions and drugs. Right? So you need it. Now let's get this one. This is Romans chapter 14, verse 2. It says, for one believeth that he may eat all things. Another who is weak eateth herbs. You see that? And that's true. Over time, you're going to become weak. Because we're in this mortal flesh. It ages, it gets old, it gets injured, it breaks down. So you do become weaker as you age. And that's why you're supposed to rely on the herbs even more. Especially if you're up in age, you should be eating the herbs. And there's different herbs that target different things in the bodies too. That's why I said you got to research. See, Elder Apostle Tahar, he did his research. Okay? And he gave you his testimony with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he was reading up on it, and then he studied it himself, and then he's making his own things, right? All right, so you got to study it, and you got to understand what your body is going through, and you are your own physician at the end of the day. You know yourself better than anybody else, so you can't rely on others to help you, because you know why? People don't care about you. Okay? People don't give a fuck about you. People are worried about themselves. So if you're weak, you gotta eat, which we are weak. We've gotten weaker throughout the time, throughout the different generations. Each generation that came forth got weaker, especially in the flesh. That's why it says Jeremiah 2 and 21. It says, yet I had planted thee a noble vine, holy, a right seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? So degenerate means you have decreased. You have actually gotten worse if you degenerated. And this plays out first in the spirit, because we discontinued from our heritage. And we no longer look like the nation that we once looked like in the very beginning, before the sight of Yahweh Bashim Shai. So we look so strange to the point we even look like another nation. That's why it says strange. I think the word strange, I think it goes into Nakar here. See if I can find it. See that? Nakar, yeah, Nakar, right? Which is strange. Yeah, Nakar. Strange, foreign. Let's see etymology, the root word here. Yeah, Nakar, you see? Or Nakar. I think it's supposed to have an A there, but still, let's see if we can go deeper. See, Nakar. Yep, I was right. Yeah. Right. Respect, fiend to another, known, acknowledge, discern. But yeah, I remember it was Nakar. But yes, we were strange, strange to the point we were very unfamiliar. The Lord didn't even recognize us by the way due to the way we were acting. We looked like another nation. We were so heathenistic. All right, man. So you get the point. But yes, this pertains spiritually, but even physically, we have degenerated. We have become weaker. We don't have the same bodies that we had going back in the garden. We had godlike bodies almost, man. Now we die much quicker. We don't live. It's very rare that you live to 100 years. For the average person out here, very rare. Now, when you get to your 70s, you just give up. You give out. Your body gives out. Anyways, let's get this one. This is Jude, chapter 1, verse 6. And the angels, which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness, onto the judgment of the great day. And we are the angels that are now in the chains of darkness. And these chains are these bodies. And yes, we left our first estate because, you know, as angels, we were the first angels. We were them spirits in the very beginning. Now, we're in these bodies catching hell. That's a punishment. Because this body is a chain. It's very limited. It's limited. It has its limitations. It breaks down. You die. You're in the flesh. You're not immortal. You can die. You have to do certain things to sustain your health, and you have to be very careful. And also, first and foremost, we're subject to sin. Okay, we're subject to sin. You know, with sin comes death. When you transgress the law, you die. That's pursuant to Romans 6:23. For the wages of sin is death. Right? So that's what ultimately causes you to die, first and foremost. It's really the sin. And you know, you being unhealthy can also start from your state of mind. You know, if you have so much stress on your mind, you have so much worries, that causes your body to be at dis-ease. It breaks your body down even quicker. So it really starts with how you think. You know, spiritually, with how you think and how you're doing things, how you're thinking in the spirit. You know, how you are spiritually. Anyways, that's it. That's all I want. Let me go back and jump down to Sirach chapter 38, verse 9. And it says, "My son, in thy sickness be not negligent, but pray unto the Lord, and he will make thee whole." You see that? So don't be negligent. You know, don't be lazy. Don't put it off. Don't be slack. You got to pray, man. You got to do your due diligence. You got to get on it, man. See that? This just shows you Elder Apostle Dahar is very diligent, and he's not negligent. He's on point. See how he got all of the ingredients together? He went out of his way to do it. He studied it. He researched it. He's like, okay, boom. Now the Lord is going to work with him and make him feel good. Right? And heal him and cure him. See that? So that's how you got to be, man. So it says, "But pray unto the Lord, and he will make thee whole." That's right. You got to pray, which means beg. You got to beg the Lord. Lord, you know, please bless this. Please bless these herbs and make it nourish my body and help me out so I can do this work. You know, verse 10: "Leave off from sin and order thine hands aright and cleanse thy heart from all wickedness. Give a sweet savor and a memorial of fine flour, and make a fat offering as not being. Then give place to the physician, for the Lord hath created him. Let him not go from thee, for thou hast need of him. There is a time when in their hands there is good success, for they shall also pray unto the Lord, that he would prosper that which they give for ease and remedy to prolong life." Yeah. And we know spiritually what prolongs your life: the law, statutes, commandments, the scriptures, starting with the name of Yahweh Bashem Yoshai. And we know that our Lord, he is very pro-life. Be fruitful and multiply. If you follow the law, statutes, and commandments, it will prolong your days on the earth. And with the law, statutes, and commandments, it comes a dietary law. And that also goes into the herbs. Right? So, verse 15, "He that sinneth before his maker, let him fall into the hands of the physician." And that's it, man. So that's all that I want. I hope this was edifying. You know, like I said, go over to this channel, Whatisthe666mark2 GMSTruth. Go over there, subscribe, watch, and be edified. And this is a good video. So with that, just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of GMST. I say shalom and shalom unto the hopeful act. Wam Yashala and a Bible ball. Shalom.